Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you my 7-minute morning makeup routine. I bet you're wondering, 7 minutes, what can you really get done? Well, I'm sure you clicked on this because you saw the before and after, or maybe you're just curious, or maybe you just don't care. But anyways, I have timed myself outside of this video. I am going to be explaining the steps, so it will go a little bit longer, but I did time myself doing this makeup routine from start to finish outside of this video, and it did take me 7 minutes or less when I did time it. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I literally cannot go without my Carmex, so I'm moisturizing my lips. And then I'm going to start off with a primer from Smashbox, and keep in mind I have already done all of my toning, moisturizer, sunscreen, and coconut oil. And if you guys want to see a video on my skincare routine before I start my makeup, I have that video on my channel as well, so be sure to watch that. And you're always going to want to make sure that your moisturizer, anything you're using to prime your face or to protect your face, is totally dry before you even put your primer on. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm gonna do color correcting. So for me, the main areas that I need to color correct is just my under eye area. So I actually am using this, and you may not have concerns on your under eye area, so maybe you could do a little bit of concealing on other areas, like if you have a lot of redness. But if you don't already know, color correcting is a great way to cancel out pigmentation on your face without using a ton of concealer. So you can use a little bit of color corrector. It goes a long way, and that will cancel out redness if you use green, for example, or in my case, I'm using this like peachy orange color corrector to cancel out the blue purpleness under my eye. And it may look like I'm putting on a lot of product, but it's actually very minimal. I'm just working in really thin, small layers, and with both of these color correctors that I'm using my under eye area, I'm warming them between my fingertips and then applying. And sorry for all the gashes on my hand. I did fall on my run a couple mornings ago, which was really surprising because I wasn't even looking at my phone or anything. So back to the color corrector. The first one I used was more of like an orange color corrector from Pro Conceal LA Girl, and that one's super inexpensive. I'll link all the products below. This one right here is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Concealer. So this one, I'm actually brightening the under eye area, and you do want to make sure to do the inner outer corners and underneath. So the first one I was using was color correcting. The second one is going to be brightening, and you could use these products individually, or you can use them together. And again, it may seem like I'm putting a lot of product on, but I'm working in really thin layers, pressing the makeup into my skin and almost making it a second skin. You want the product to go into your skin and not just be sitting on top, and then when you go to put on the next layer, it won't just be like smearing over the layer you just put on. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab my beauty blender. So when I first started using beauty blenders, people would say like, oh, make sure to get them really wet. You want to get them really wet. I was just putting like a drizzle of water, get them soaking wet, then squeeze all of the water out, and that will just make your concealer or cover up go a lot longer. I use my fingers for my color corrector and my eye brightener, and then I prefer for the beauty blender for going around the face really quickly with my full face concealer. I use a full coverage concealer by It Cosmetics because once I put this on, I'm not going to be using any other concealers or foundation on my face. With a lot of makeup brands, I've found that I'll jump around between products because I'm hoping to find something better. And this product I really like, and I've repurchased over and over again. It's a really big tube, and again, I'll link everything below. It does have 50 SPF, but I do use my sunscreen on my face underneath during my moisturizing routine before I go in to apply my makeup. And the full coverage is great because you really just do those couple pumps and it gets on your whole face, and I don't need to do any concealing over. I don't really get acne or anything like that, which is good. It's mainly my under eyes that bother me, and just like a little bit of redness on my cheeks and around my nose. So with the foundation, I'm not going under my eye again, because I am going to use a concealer just in that area, and you want to do as little amount of product as you can, especially in the under eye area. And I'm going to just go like behind my ears a little bit, so on. Okay, so the next thing is going to be the Bye Bye Under Eye. And this is a full coverage anti-aging waterproof concealer. This product is great if you have dry skin. So the only real complaints I have about this product here is that I just wish it covered even more than it does, but this is the best coverage that I've found without my under eye area looking grayish. And again, that color corrector works really well in canceling out the blue purple underneath your eyes. And this product goes a long way. You can do just like a really small amount and then just pat it out. I don't like do any contouring, especially in my just day-to-day makeup routine, because I'm always in a rush. I need to get to work and get going right away. So I just want to do the most effective thing for my face. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my eyelash glue on, because, and I'm using the Kiss number 11 with the Kiss Aloe Strip Lash adhesive, and I put the glue on now because it's going to need just a little bit of time to set while I do my powder. And again, I found this method works efficiently when I am running behind, because I can let that glue dry and get tacky while I do my powder. So this is actually a really inexpensive product. It's the Perfecting Loose Powder. So this is not a setting powder, it's more of a finishing powder, and it's in translucent. But I do use this almost to like set my makeup and just have it not have that super wet look when I'm done. And I'm using my fluffiest brush. I'm not super particular about like expensive brushes or anything, but you do need to find brushes that are going to that are going to work with like the type of product that you're putting on. So as far as the powder, I'm putting just like a cinnamon sprinkle amount of powder, tapping it out, and then just patting it all over my face. So it's very little. If you put a ton of powder on, or at least if I do, over these It Cosmetics products, they tend to look really cakey and the product starts to separate. Okay, so next thing, and from this step forward, from my lashes forward, honestly, I may even be doing like my blush and bronzer and things in the car. So this would be the last thing that I would really do before I leave the house. And I'm using another mirror because I found that I can't do this on camera. It's like you're doing almost the opposite because it's like a mirror image. It's hard to explain. So as you can see, put my lashes on super quickly, and I have another video on how I put my lashes on. I'm just going super quick because I'm trying to be like as accurate as possible as what I would actually be doing in the morning. People always ask me, like, you put those on every single day? And I'm like, it literally takes me 2 seconds. And even if I put these on every day, it's not going to be as much time as you would spend in the chair getting eyelash extensions. So that glue was really tacky, so I know exactly where on my eye I need to place the lash. And then I just go back through and I'm pressing it against my real lashes because I want the lashes to be going in like upward, and I want them as close to my real lashes as possible. Okay, that's done. Next thing we're going to do is bronzer. Some products I spend a lot of money on, especially when it comes to like foundations and concealers and even like skincare products. But with bronzers and blushes, I just read reviews online and purchase them at Ulta, and that way, just in case like I bring it home and I don't like it, they have a really good return policy, or sometimes they'll have samples. But I find that you can find really good quality products at better prices, and especially when it comes, ooh, my baby hairs, especially when it comes to like eyeshadows, bronzers, highlighters, things like that. So I basically took the bronzer, obviously in the hollows of my cheekbone. I start out and then come forward to create a shadow. So I wouldn't say do contouring on my face, but that does provide a little bit of contour here underneath my chin, and then I just put some around my hairline. And then from there, I'm gonna use a Maybelline Master of Chrome. And this I'll kind of use as my highlighter to just illuminate like the high points on my face. So I'm gonna do like here, and you always want to go like in upward motion because you want to give the illusion that you have high cheekbones and that the light is just bouncing off them because they're so high. Sorry, my hair is starting to look crazy. And then I just put a little bit, and this one's angled, this brush, so it looks like I'm putting it everywhere, but I'm just using the tip of this brush. And I'm doing my Cupid's bow, my chin, and then my eyes have always looked good with like a first layer. I do use my like eye concealer almost as a setting or a primer, I guess, for my eyes. But then I've always found that having like a really bright light eyeshadow as my base eyeshadow just looks best on me. So if you have fair skin and big blue eyes, this might look good on you. Oh my god, my hand, sorry guys. Okay, so I pretty much put that all over my eye and even in the middle and out and kind of like down here. And I only use brushes for the big areas on my face. With all of my eye concealers and eyeshadows, I use my fingers for everything. And I just carry a microfiber with me so I can kind of like wipe my fingers down. All right, so that's that. And then my blush. This blush is like super concentrated and the color's really pretty. It's the Milani and it is the 05 Luminoso. It was one of their most popular ones, but it goes a long way, and the brush that comes with it it's absolute garbage, so don't use it. It's super stiff. I'm using this brush. It's like a fluffy, rounder brush. And again, upwards. You don't want to just like go like that. You want to, with your bronzer, your blush, and your highlighter, everything's going up. Let's make sure cheekbones look higher and just makes everything look a little bit more defined. Okay, my husband got me this Morphe eyeshadow palette for Christmas, or yeah, my birthday, Christmas, something. And I really like it. So I use the Stardust, and this is like more of that highlighting again, but it has like almost a purple blue hue, which is really pretty. And I always like a little bit extra light shadow on my eyelid. And I usually do this first, then I do the darker ones. So I'm gonna go in with the Blaze, which is the darkest one on the palette, and I think I'm actually gonna do a full video on a full face with this one eyeshadow palette. Obviously not like foundation and concealer, but doing my eyeshadow, lips, bronzer, and blush, because I really think there's something on this palette for all of those areas that you could make work, so that might be kind of cool. Okay. Other eye. And I'm trying to go as fast as possible. Obviously, I'm talking about all these products, showing them to you and explaining them, but I'm also trying to go quickly because I want to just like show you how quick I could get this done if I was in a super pinch. And there's so much eyeshadow in this palette for the cost. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with this gold there, and that is the Shooting Star. And that one I'm gonna go just like in my crease but towards the center and bring it out. And that's just gonna brighten everything up and give a little bit of definition between the center of the eye, the outer eye. And again, I could get way crazier with the eyeshadow and do more in the crease, more in the center, but this is just like my everyday look. Okay, so then I'm gonna do the white Maybelline Tattoo Studio in my waterline, and I have a nude on order because I think this white can kind of make me look a little crazy, especially if my eyes are red, or if I in a super rush and don't have time to like put mascara over it because the white gets on my eyelashes. But for you guys today, I'll show you like ideally what it would look like. Okay, then mascara, the last thing. I switched over from the pink Maybelline mascara to this Falsies one. I actually got it as a sample at Ulta, and I kept wondering why my mascara kept ending up under my eye, and I was doing this exact same routine, and I kept like changing my powders, and I changed my concealer, and I like stopped putting mascara on my under eye, which was really annoying. And then I realized that it was just the mascara, and I'd been using it for years, and people would always be like, oh, you have mascara underneath your eye, and I'm like, okay. Like, it was really annoying, and I kept having to like ruin my concealer underneath my eye every time I would try to get it. So when I do my mascara, I usually don't get it all over my eye. I usually do one layer on one eye, move to the other eye, and then back to the first eye. If you don't like wearing false eyelashes, having eyelash extensions can definitely save you time getting ready. Like, I feel like I don't have to put on as much mascara as I would if I didn't wear false lashes, or if I've had eyelash extensions before. So it's just nice having that like extra time boost. The other thing that I would recommend if you're trying to save time and if you have the budget for it is the microblading for your eyebrows, which I have, and I don't spend any time on my eyebrows unless the microblading is wearing off. You usually want to get it touched up, ideally every 1 year. I usually go every 2 years. If I'm doing like a really dramatic makeup look or like going out, I'll go back over them. But for a day-to-day, the microblading color that she put in is definitely enough. So again, that powder that I put on my face kind of like sets my makeup, but then it also, if I did get any like mascara or anything on that powder, it did just make it easier to wipe away because the foundation wasn't as sticky. And the final thing, I don't really do that much with my lips, but I'll put like a really light pink, or I'll put a just like a shiny gloss. And I hope you guys found that video useful. This is the end of my everyday look. If you like it or you hate it, be sure to tell me in the comments below. If you're someone that, you know, is always in a rush, like most of us females are when we're getting ready, hopefully you found some of these tips useful, or maybe you have like a similar complexion and you might want to use some of these products. So I'll definitely leave them below. Be sure to like this video or dislike it, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you on the next one.